Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about how to work with your spouse or your spice, your partner in life at school in particular. I've been doing this for I think 17 years now, and so I've got 5 little tips for you to try and make it a bit easier. So recently I had my nephew visit with his new fiance, and next year they're going to be working together both in the same school. They're both high school teachers, and his fiance asked me, can you give me any tips on how to keep your personal relationship separate from your working relationship? I have 5 tips for you that I think will help ease the transition into working together as life partners as well as work partners. 1. Fight your own battles. It's easy for us to try and protect each other when we love each other, particularly for males. I found early on that my husband wanted to come in and rescue me and protect me and save the day. Every time I had some kind of an issue with a colleague or a student was giving me a difficult time, and I just had to say to him, look, I'm a big girl, honey. Leave it. Let me handle it. I can do this. Thank you. I love you, but you need to just leave it. If you allow your partner to come in and fight your battles for you, you are not going to gain the reputation and the respect and the professional courtesy that you deserve from your fellow colleagues and from the students as well. It's best to keep your own battles separate. Tip number 2, always maintain professionalism. Be professional at all times. Don't do public displays of affection. It's so tempting, but you've got to keep everything above board and very, very professional. Particularly in a high school setting where you are working with teenagers, you've got to look professional at all times. Never ever speak ill of each other when you're talking with colleagues or with other students. Students are like kids, your own kids. They will try and put one up against the other. They will try and manipulate the situation to get their own way. Always, always, always maintain that professionalism and don't get dragged into gossip. Tip number 3, stay positive and level-headed. Teaching is something that can be very emotive because we are dealing with human beings. We're dealing in relationships, and sometimes things don't go right. Colleagues and students will sometimes say negative things about your spouse, your spice, your partner. You need to just rise above that. Even if negative things are said, you need to maintain that level-headedness and not get emotionally involved. Don't react. Be responsive rather than reactive. Tip number 4, your haven. We've been really fortunate with our situation in both of the schools that we've worked at. I teach English, he teaches PDHPE, and so our staff rooms are quite separate from one another, so we've naturally had that physical space to separate from one another. It's important that you have your own identity as a professional person, an individual identity as a professional person. You can have that at the same school. It's very possible, but it's really important to have your own little physical space. If you don't work in a situation where you have a separate staff room, I would encourage you to seek out a place that is just your haven. It may be your classroom. It may just be under a tree on the oval. I don't know, but you need to find one space that is separate from your life partner's space. Tip number 5, focus on the fun stuff. It's really fun to work together. You have shared experiences that you can laugh about. You can offload to one another when you get home and you understand totally what the other person is talking about. You have a sense of community both with one another and with your colleagues and with the students as well. The students love the fact that we are married, and they often ask us about one another, and I find that a really heartwarming thing to be able to share with students. You will get to do things together, like sometimes you will get to do excursions together or special events together, school-based community events that are a really fun shared experience to have. You can get to see each other throughout the day, even though you have your own space. We often bump into each other, sometimes a couple of times a day. Sometimes we even get to have a coffee together if we both have a free period or a recess together at the same time, which is lovely. And we also have that shared understanding of the politics that happen in every workplace. And so it's really good to have that person who you can come home to and offload with, and they know exactly what you're talking about. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. If you are considering working in the same place, the same school as your life partner, your spouse or your spice, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, I really encourage you to take the plunge. It's a great thing to be able to do. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel, and I'd love to hear your comments below. If you do work with your partner, your life partner, I'd love to hear your experiences about it, and any other tips that you may have gleaned along the way, I'd love you to share with us. See you next time.